start my ship tours at the top deck and work my way down. I think this is always fun, and as you can see on deck 19, it's quite high up. Deck 18 is not only a good place to get some great views, but during normal times they also have crazy golf here, which can be a lot of fun. You can also see these big orb-like things. Those are actually how the Medallion class internet actually works. It's known as Medallion Net. It all comes from satellites up in space. Now as we move on to deck 18, you see this great walking and running track that goes across half of the deck of 18, which is the sports deck. Left hand for walking, right hand for running. I was here a lot. As somebody who likes to do a lot of exercise and have a healthy lifestyle, whenever it was early in the morning or during the day where there was not much else going on, for example before lunch where not many events happen, I would just, I say waste my time, but I would pass the time coming up here and doing a few laps of this ship. There are a lot of people who were also doing similar. There are some people wearing a lot of running gear who come up here and just do an actual full-on run. I'm not much of a runner, but I like to get my walking in. I would walk a few of these every few hours, so I think it was 7 laps of this half deck was 1 mile, and I tried to do about two miles at a time, so about 14 circuits. There's also these cool outdoor gym machines, so there's some for resistance and some for sort of just strength. And it was very interesting to try some of those. Did feel a bit strange doing them out on the deck, but they are very cool if you like those sort of things. But yeah, a lot of people did go out for a walk and a run. I would just say that if you are going to come out here and expect to be doing some hardcore running, be very careful. As you can see from the video, this deck does get very wet and slippery, so if you don't have the right shoes, be very careful. You don't want to injure yourself on your cruise, but also as well, some people just come up here for a little bit of a walk and they don't necessarily pay attention to the fact that it's walk on the left, run on the right. So if you are running, be aware that there could be people going very slow in that lane. Here in the aft section of deck 17, you'll find the Terrace Bar. This is one of the places on board where people would often come to smoke. It's a smoking friendly area, and there are some sort of pool and hot tub areas around here as well. So this is a really good place to come and relax if you just want adults only entertainment. Also around here inside is the fitness centre, as well as some of the children's clubs which were closed during this cruise because no children were on board. But this includes Pelicans, Shockwaves and Remix, and the Teen Open area. These are all inside deck 17, and you can get through the doors to the left or to the right. fitness centre on board is one of the best equipped I've seen on a cruise ship. There's so many machines here. At the moment they are spread out and some of them are out of use for COVID reasons, but most of them are okay to use. There's plenty to choose from and lots to do. There's also an area in the side for sort of studio spin bike stuff, yoga, Pilates, everything you can imagine. There's classes for it, and you can sign up for these on your app, but you can also turn up on to the Lido Deck and see if there's any availability. You'll see also free weights and resistance training equipment, which is really nice for those who want to use it. Heading out and around, then deck 17 gives you your first real view of the main Lido area. The Lido is one deck below, but 17 goes around the outside of this Lido area, giving you an advantage to looking out over the pool area without being part of the hustle and bustle. During busy times, there are lots of deck chairs out here with people sun lounging and things like that, but when it's quiet, it's more of a sort of a promenade deck. There are hot tubs on deck 17 that you can use, and these are very, very nice. I find that it was good to use them early in the morning or later in the day, as at the moment at least the capacity is limited to one family bubble, so it can be very difficult to get into them because people do tend to hog them for quite some time. Towards the other end of deck 17, you'll find the Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is an area for adults only, designed to be a place where there's outdoor activities and entertainment available just for people in the retreat area. There's signature beverages, light meals, and there's also things like massages available in here, little bits and pieces, and you can book access to that usually online. It was currently closed while we were on board, but I believe it opened later in the cruise. So down we head to deck 16, the Lido Deck. As you can see here, this is where the main pool area is. Interestingly, with this ship, the centre of the pool actually has a fountain display, which can also be used as a stage. There's also Prego Pizzeria for your fast food pizza style, and a bar here, and to the opposite side there is the Trident Grill, where you can get things like burgers, hot dogs and chicken burgers as well. There are also veggie burger options as well, so you are all catered for here. As we head into the indoor portion of this deck, we can find the amazing food court called Horizon Court. This is the buffet restaurant, and as you enter, you are made to fully wash your hands before you can enter. This is one of the nicest looking buffets I've seen on a cruise ship. It's just elegant. It doesn't feel like you're in a canteen or some sort of school cafeteria. It feels very elegant and very nice. The fact that it's quite quiet was also beneficial. There are different stations set up and often mirrored on both sides of the buffet so that there are lots of different places to get the same food, and this minimises queues and makes you feel a lot safer. As you can see, it is not fully self-service. Everything is served to you by a staff member currently, and I prefer this personally as I think that you get a lot fresher stuff and you can guarantee that it is nice and clean and safe. There's also a special pastry section of this buffet which I really love. So as you look in here, there are specifically cakes and pastries. Delicious, delicious, delicious. And if there's something here that you think, I really liked that, chances are, if you find it later on, you can go down to the International Cafe and they will have these as well as some other ones that you'll only find there. Skipping all of the decks full of staterooms only, we head down to deck 7, which is the next deck on the ship that has amenities for guests. The first area we enter here on deck 7 is the Vista Lounge. Now the Vista Lounge is not used for a whole lot at the moment. The only time I was in here for any sort of event was for a talk about art, but it can be used later on for sort of comedy, it can be used for cabaret acts and things like that, but there wasn't a huge amount that I saw on here at the moment. As we head on then, on the right you have the library. This is a great place to go and read a book, get some peace and quiet, and I do find that some people come here to play things like cards as well. But if you are here to read, you can borrow a book and return it later in the cruise. And there's a lot of things to choose from, often finding books about your next port of call. As you exit here on the left, you have the Wheelhouse Bar. The great thing about the Wheelhouse Bar is it has a unique menu that is in addition to the normal bar menu, so there are specific drinks you can only get here. Also, at the back of the Wheelhouse Bar is the Crown Grill. That's the onboard steakhouse on board Regal Princess. It's a specialty restaurant that costs about $30 per head, and that includes your whole meal, so it's a really great deal. And I've heard so many good things about Crown Grill. I didn't go on this cruise because I didn't want to do specialty dining on a 3-day cruise. I thought that would be something better for a longer cruise, but the people who did said amazing things about it, so please go. Down here and to the left we have the Princess Live Theatre. This is a smaller theatre used for their TV studio style shows, but also used for trivia currently. Next to it as well is the Princess Live Bar. Now this is a cafe where they serve barista style coffees and lots of other little treats, and if you order anything from the app, coffees, waters and things like that, it will likely come from this location. As we head to the centre of the ship, you'll go past the Future Cruise Centre, where you can have an incentive to book a new cruise, and also the area for the Captain's Circle. This is where you go for any loyalty talks or anything like that, before heading out to the centre of the ship, where you'll find lots of amazing shops. Now the shops on board vary from watches and perfumes, things like that, to arts and things like that, as well as cruise-specific accessories such as t-shirts, miniature cruise ships, inflatable cruise ships, anything you can imagine you can find on board. I did find personally that it was very much geared towards women, which is not uncommon when it comes to shopping, but I did find that unless I wanted a watch, there wasn't really much for me to purchase, which was a bit of a shame, as I felt that that was a market that they haven't really aimed at, which is a sad thing, really. And as we get further towards the front of the ship, we also go past Ocean Terrace, which is a seafood bar. Here they were famous for their sushi, as well as other things like sake as well that you could get here. As you go past there, you head towards the Calypso Cove area, which is a nice little bar and relaxing area you can go to. Lots of these seats were very much full because you might notice there's signs on some of them with the little crosses. These were ones that you weren't allowed to sit at. And so it looks like there's lots of space, but actually it's only about half capacity. And you'll notice the signs in the bars as well. There was no bar service. Drinks had to be ordered from the waiters or from the app. One thing I will say, and we'll talk about the app later, is a lot of drinks were available on the app, but not all of them. It was a very limited menu. As we head down to deck 6 to the main atrium area, you'll see the first thing is the Medallion class shop. This is where you can buy accessories for your medallion, which can include a bracelet, a new insert for the piece that you get with your lanyard, other lanyards, bits and pieces like that. You'll also find Concerto. This is one of the main dining rooms, and it's also where the afternoon tea is served. So if you fancy some tea and scones, this is the place to be. For those who watched my P&O ship tour, you'll notice that the photo gallery on board P&O was closed. However, on board the Regal Princess, they did indeed have photographers. They weren't as prevalent and as obvious as they used to be, but we did see them and they were taking photos for sale. Also, here is Club 6 if you do fancy a drink and you wanted to get one on your way through to here, where there is the casino and also another place to drink. This is also part of Club 6, and a lot of people sat here just to have the nice sort of jazz music and a little sip of a drink. But yeah, the casino is right outside and we'll head there soon. Towards the front of the ship is the Princess Theatre and Churchill's. Churchill's is a cigar bar, but this was closed during these COVID seacations. And at the front, Princess Theatre, this is the 2-level main show theatre where the shows would be held each night. You can access this on Deck 6, but you can also on Deck 7 as well. Fancy a flirtation with Lady Luck? The Princess Casino has got you covered. There are tables, there are machines, there are even scratch cards if you fancy a little bit of a flutter. There's also a few little different machines like this sort of bingo-y machine, like a lottery ball, and there are some other little games and things in here as well. So anything you like to do in your gambling ways, they are available. The scratch cards have special offers on throughout the cruise, so you may want to check your Princess Patter to make sure you are buying them at the right time. Feeling all continental? Well, Bellinis is the place for you. Come and have a nice sort of Italian style aperitif, and obviously the rest of the full bar menu. But if you like an aperitif like a Bellini or a mimosa, this is the place to go. Next to Bellinis, you also have Alfredos. So Alfredos is the Italian restaurant on board, one of the two in fact. This is, however, complimentary and included in your cost. Many people come here for lunch. They do freshly made pizzas in their sort of pizza oven. Very, very delicious. And they also have an incredibly good tiramisu. I do recommend it. It's something to try at least once on your cruise. People rave about it. If you love pizza, come to Alfredo's. Why wouldn't you? It's free. And now we head down to Deck 5. Symphony, one of the next main dining rooms. This one was also open for breakfast and lunch. So if you like to have a table service and be served at the table, perfect place to go. And now we get to the piazza. This is the main atrium area of the ship where people tend to gather. And there are a few different areas. Here is the Good Spirits at Sea bar, and this is where I spent most of my evenings. The reason why is in the evenings, Good Spirits at Sea do special events where they serve special cocktails, combining with their TV show where they can show you how they're made. There are collectible cards for each one, so make sure you get them all. I sadly did. Here, the International Cafe. This is open 24 hours a day and is where you can find things like sandwiches, salads and cakes. There's lots to choose from and we were always very impressed. As we head further back here, you'll also see guest services and the shore excursions desk. On the right, Sabatinis. This is your fine dining Italian restaurant where it is specialty dining. You do pay a charge for this, but we'll have a closer look at that shortly. Feeling like getting pampered? The Lotus Bar has you covered. Massages, different spa treatments, men's services such as shaving, lots of options to have here. Come and speak to your friendly spa consultants and they will find something for you. Remember I said we'd get a closer look at Sabatinis? Well, I wasn't lying. Sabatinis is an Italian restaurant and it comes very recommended. Obviously we've got Alfredos if you prefer to not pay an extra cover charge, but Sabatinis you do pay about $25 per person for a full 3-course meal here. I got the opportunity to have a little look inside. As I said earlier in the video, we didn't do any specialty dining because on a short cruise we just wanted to have the main dining and not really worry about having to pay any extra. We did, however, have the Princess Plus fare, which gave us access to the unlimited drinks. I say unlimited, 15 per day, but for us, that's unlimited. See a piano here, and one of the lovely things I have to say about the Regal Princess is everywhere you went there was musicians and you got to have a lot of fun with that. Here you have the gelato stand, some really good gelato here, I really enjoyed it, and Celebrations, which is like a nice place to get nice chocolates and sweets as souvenirs or just to treat yourself. Here, the internet cafe wasn't really much used, to be honest, but it is there if you need it. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Regal Princess and think she's as beautiful as I did. I had a really good time aboard this ship and didn't have any complaints to make. If you're sailing on her soon, sail safe and have a great time. I look forward to hearing about your trip. Yeah, what was saying, so